Hey again, it's Heather with Makeup by Heather B. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, click the link below so that you get all my videos as soon as they're uploaded. But today I'm so excited to share with you one of my very own takes on a very natural classic cat eye and a red lip. I love rocking a red lip, and I know it seems scary, but you can do it too. I am trying a new style of video with a voiceover, so I would love for your feedback to let me know if you like this style of video, so feel free to comment below, and I hope that you enjoy what we have in store for you today. I know a lot of these videos for cat eyes, it can be very, very hard, so I wanted to make this super easy and very basic for you so that you are able to do it at home. So let's get started. Meow! Alright, so here we go with step one. I'm using Painterly by MAC, which is just a flesh tone eyeshadow primer. And I'm just smoothing this all over my eyelids, keeps my shadow from creasing and keeps it on. So this is always the first step when I'm doing my eyes. So next I'm going to use the Chocolate Too Faced palette. And I'm going to use a MAC 224 brush. And I'm going to use kind of that warmer brown. And I'm going to put this all in the crease of the eye. I love this warmer brown color for the crease. It's so pretty. So I just go back and forth. I like to add a lot of color on this eye because it's more of a natural look. So I really want that crease color to pop. So same thing on the other side. Just going in with my crease color, my 224 MAC brush. Just making sure it's nice and blended. Picking up a little bit more. I like it to be a little bit more of a pop. Now I'm going to go back through with a little bit of a lighter color. I'm using a firm flat brush by MAC, the 239. So from the lash line all the way up to the crease color that we just did. Then I just take my MAC 224, same crease brush with a little bit of the same crease color, and just go back over and blend. Now we're going to move on to eyeliner, and using the gel liner by L'Oreal in black. And I always dip a little bit out, put it onto my hand so it warms the product up. Get my angled brush, and then what I do is I mark where I'm going to start my cat eye, okay? So mark it first, and then take your angled brush and just try to connect the line. Now I'm going to get really messy with this because I'm going to show you how it doesn't need to be perfect, but we're going to make it perfect in the end. So even if you start to do it, and it's not looking very good, just keep working on it, and I'll give you a good trick on how to perfect that line. But basically, we just want to kind of get that little bit of a wing established, just like that. Then I just go back through with my gel liner, keep adding my product, and just go over the lash line until it looks how I want it to. And you can fill it in as much as you want. You can make it really dramatic. You can make it not as dramatic. I just make sure that the line is nice and full. All right, so doing the other eye, for some reason, this eye is just easier for me to do the line first instead of marking the cat eye. I always have one eye that I'm good at and one eye that I struggle with. This would be my struggle eye, my special eye. So same thing on the other side, just taking the liner, going in short little strokes, not trying to get a perfect straight line. But just take your brush in short little strokes just so that the line meets and you're just filling it in. So when I'm forming the wing on this side, I'm just going to take my brush, same thing as the other side, angle it how I want the wing, and then I'm just going to kind of connect the two lines. This one looks a little bit shorter, so I'm going to just wing it out a little bit more so that they're even. Now what I'm going to do is take a makeup wipe, and we're going to make these lines really nice and crisp. So if you feel like you can't get your wing perfect, this is a good little trick for you. Just take a wipe and clean up that line, and that's going to give you a really nice winged liner. but it's not as hard as if you were just to freehand it. So you can get kind of messy with it, make the line thicker than you want, and then just go back with your wipe and clean it up so that you get that nice small cat eye look. And then I just clean up any makeup underneath that maybe fell out and just get that line nice and crisp. Then you can always go back, fill in if you need to, wing it out a little bit more if you need to. Now we're moving on to the face. So I'm going to use my Laura Mercier primer. It's their Radiance primer. I love this stuff. I put it on all of my brides. It is basically a face primer that just gives your skin a little bit of a radiant glow. Who doesn't want glowing skin? I mean, come on. It's amazing. So I put a little bit of that on all over. Next, I'm going to use a foundation by Giorgio Armani. It's their Luminous Silk Foundation. I am in love with this foundation. It is so pretty on. It doesn't look heavy, but it covers really well. I'm just using a Sephora brush to apply this. Anything kind of firmer and flat is a great brush for this foundation. I always kind of start on the cheek area and then just blend outward. I just kind of go in circular motions until the foundation looks how I want it to and it's nice and blended. I put it on all over. It's just such a pretty foundation. You really don't need a lot, but it's just beautiful on the skin. So I just really make sure to work the product around the face just till it's nice and smooth and how I like it. If you need more coverage, I would dab it in places like this opposed to going in circular motions. That will give you a little bit of a better coverage by dabbing your brush. All right, now we're going to go through with concealer. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer in NW25. I'm going to put a little bit of this. I always start underneath my eye area. I love this concealer. It literally helps my makeup stay on all day and it covers really well. So I do a little bit of this on the underneath the eye area, and you can see I drag it down onto my cheeks so that it's not just like right underneath the eye area, but it helps to just really highlight the cheekbones too. I also do, kind of on the forehead. I do it in the inner corner of my eye because I get a little bit of a shadow in there. And then I just be careful not to go too far over that I'm touching the wing and getting the concealer on the wing. So just go a little bit slower. Usually do around the nose area, around my mouth, because that's usually where my foundation wears off because I talk so much during the day. Anywhere where you need extra coverage, you can go ahead and put that concealer. And I just kind of use my finger. It's just really pretty on all over. Sometimes I even wear it as a foundation by itself. So once that step is done, we are going to just take a Duo Fiber brush by MAC, and I just go over and blend everything together. You can use your powder brush or foundation brush and just kind of go over everything so that it's nice and blended and you don't have any lines from that concealer that we just did. Now I want to bring a little bit of life to my face, so I'm going to use a big fluffy brush, the 150 by MAC, and I'm using Too Faced Primed and Poreless. It's a bronzer that I just got that I'm really liking. It just kind of smooths out your pores while giving you a little bit of color. And I actually, in this video, I'm putting my bronzer all over. And I also do my neck just because, if you noticed before I had makeup on, my face is a little bit lighter than the rest of my body. So by doing the neck, it kind of helps blend everything together. I try to keep my skin healthy so I don't get it in the sun too much. So bronzer is key for this part. So once the bronzer is done, I'm going to go back through and do a little bit of contouring, just very lightly on my skin. I like to use the NARS brush. It's kind of funky looking. It's just pretty much like a straight edged brush, and I'm using the Anastasia contouring palette. You can see I just kind of mark by my ear and get the contour on there, and I'm just kind of wiggling back and forth so that the product gets on the cheek, and then I usually will go back with my brush and kind of blend things out just a little bit. I also do around my hairline, anywhere where I want to kind of give my facial features a little bit of contouring is where I'll put this. I'm loving the new Anastasia contour palette. It's amazing. So now I'm going to apply my blush. This is one of my absolute favorite blushes by MAC. It's called Tenderling. It's just a good neutral blush. When I'm doing red lips, I like to have a blush that doesn't have a ton of pink to it, but it just kind of gives me a little bit of color without too much pink or plum in it. So this is a really pretty blush. I'm applying it with my favorite NARS blush brush. It's a funky looking brush. Doesn't have a name, but it's awesome. Then I'm going to go back with some highlighter. This is Stardust by MAC. It is so pretty. It's beautiful. It is a little bit more of a higher shimmer to it, so be careful when you use it. You only need a little bit, but I always put it just around the C shape, kind of around my eye, just to give my skin like a really soft glow. I put it down the center of my nose, forehead, wherever I feel like being shimmery. So now moving on to brows. This is an Anastasia brow pencil in soft brown. I like to just go in short little strokes as I fill in my brow with this pencil. I don't need to fill in a whole lot, but I have a few areas of my brows that are a little bit more dense than others. So I just kind of fill in where I feel like I need it. And then what I love about this pencil is it has like a little brush on it too. So then you can go back after and brush through it. But what I'm going to do is just take a little bit of MAC Clear Brow Gel and put that on top. And this just kind of keeps my brows going in the same direction. If I have any product on my brows, it cleans them off. But it just makes them look a little bit more finished when you apply the Clear Brow Gel on them. It's one of my favorites. All right, so now we're going to do mascara. Of course, who doesn't love mascara? This was one I've been talking in about some of my latest videos. It's the Too Faced High Roller mascara. I'm absolutely loving it right now. So when I apply my mascara, I tip my head back so that I don't get it on my eyeshadow, but you can see I got a little bit on my eyeshadow. So when that does happen, don't freak out. You want to let the mascara dry wherever it may be on your eyelid, and give it just a few seconds. Maybe wait till you're finished putting your mascara on. Once you're done applying mascara, then go back with a Q-tip and you can just fix it that way. You can also take your Q-tip and just clean up any other areas, maybe that makeup fell or that you have eyeliner, mascara, whatever. So now I'm taking a pencil brush by MAC and I'm just adding a little bit of like a bronzy shade underneath of my bottom lash line, just to create a little bit of a bottom eyeliner that's not like black, but it just kind of frames my eyes just a little bit. Typically I always just smudge a little bit of eyeshadow underneath. That's just kind of how I like it. It's a little bit softer. Then I'm just with the same pencil brush going to take that the lightest shade and put that on the inner corner just to highlight. Make the eyes pop just a little bit is really pretty. It's something I like to do just to kind of brighten up the eyes a little bit. All right, so we are going to move on to lips. I use my foundation brush just to kind of go over my lips so that they're nice and ready for me to line them. So I'm going to start with MAC Cherry Lip Liner. I always start with the Cupid's bow and just kind of take your time. Red lips can be really time consuming, but if you are in a hurry, it's no bueno. It's not going to look very good. So just make sure you're taking your time. I always kind of, as you're seeing, I'm filling in the entire lip and just making sure that to kind of look at it, make sure it's even. With the bottom, sometimes I'll smile halfway and that kind of stretches out the lip just a little bit so that you can really get a nice line. I love MAC Cherry Lip Liner though. It's so pretty. So then what I do is once I have that line, I just go through and fill in the lip so that your lipstick will actually wear longer if you fill in. And then that way you don't have that weird lip liner lipstick line. So I rub that together and now we're gonna go through with MAC Ruby Woo. Okay, this is like my absolute favorite red. It's so pretty. It's a matte color, so it literally will stay on all day. It is so pretty. My absolute favorite. So I get that on, I kind of blend my lips together. It may get a little messy, so that's when you can just take a Q-tip, go through and just clean up any mistakes. If any of the line is kind of come out a little bit or is bleeding, you can clean it up with a Q-tip. So then I'll just go back through with my lip liner and kind of make any corrections if I need to. Make the line fuller, do whatever I feel like I need to make it even. Red lips are very time consuming, as you can see. One wrong move and you're in trouble. Okay, so now I'm using Amazing Cosmetics Amazing Concealer in light golden, and I'm using just a small brush to kind of define the line around the lip area. This is just one shade lighter than my foundation color because I want it to really pop and make that line really crisp looking. So I'm just going through kind of cleaning up the line with this concealer. So this would be an example of just a red lip. It's very bright, but I want to kind of take it up a notch and take it to the next level by adding some dimension. So I'm using MAC lip liner in Vino. It's kind of like a darker wineish color, and what I'm doing is I'm just going to trace around the lip line with this darker color. You can already start to see it giving some dimension, just kind of darkening the outer lip line. And then I go back to the bottom. Same thing, just the outer line. I don't want to color in the whole lip because it's going to create a whole different lip color. But I'm just going to shade the corners in and just shade the lower lip line. Kind of blend so that it's not too much of a line. Clean up with my Q-tip if I need to. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab another lipstick just to add a little bit more dimension. This one's by Chanel. It's their Rouge Allure collection in 105 Inimitable. And I just add a little bit of this in the center of my lips just to make it pop a little bit more. There you go. It's beautiful, right? I hope that you like this red lip. It's one of my absolute favorites. And there you have it, a red lip with a little bit of dimension. Well, if you are still here and you've made it all the way to the end of this video with me, thank you so much. I know this is a different style of video than I typically do. I would love to hear your feedback if you like this style better or my previous videos. So please comment below and let me know what you think. Thanks, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.